Good morning, world. This your girl, Dominique Spinelli. And it's one of those days where you gotta walk out all that faith you be talking about. So I'm walking it out. With that said, I do not look like what I'm going through. Let me show you the fit. Fire. Let me show you from the back. Fire. Say it with me now. Fire. I just came from the finance meeting, and then after that I had some adult things that I had to handle, and that's all fine and dandy. Now it is time to do my job. I was already definitely doing my job, but more of my job. The recording part, my favorite part of my job. So I like to let y'all share in my favorite part of my job, because all that other stuff is part of the duties, you dig? This is my pleasure. Okay? Okay. Let's lay the snooze down. All right. A ceremony was held Monday night to honor a former longtime member of the Obion County Rescue Squad. The late Bill Sowell was honored at the Rescue Squad building at the fairgrounds for 45 years of service. With members and family on hand, Rescue Squad Captain Stanley made a presentation to Miss Vicki Sowell.
Tonight on this special occasion, Vicki and her family. Vicki, you want to step up here, please? This is my first time doing this. He was a good man. Tonight we are retiring Bill's badge, 6934. This is in memory of Bill Sowell. Above badge has been permanently retired. He came in 1980 and retired in 2025.
Sowell was a supply officer with the local rescue squad and had also served as region vice president along with state chaplain and historian. Miss Sowell offered her appreciation to those in attendance after a plaque in memory of Bill Sowell was placed on the department's Ford 550 crash truck.
Some of these young ones to get busy and become great squad members. Bill would love that.
Photos from the ceremony have been placed on our website at thunderboltradio.com. At Martin City Board meeting Monday, a proclamation was given to two Westview state champions. The Westview Chargers football team and the Westview girls soccer team received a proclamation from Mayor David Belote, along with a plaque to honor their achievements. Photos are on our website at thunderboltradio.com. The National Association of Secondary Schools Principals has named a former Hickman resident as the high school principal of the year in Kentucky. Dietrich Kinney, the high school principal at Paducah Tillman High School, was selected for the honor. The state association annually recognizes high-performing principals who model best practices and outstanding secondary school leadership. Kinney has 18 years of experience in education, including his role at Paducah Tillman and 2.5 years. You see something? Okay, that's fine. I needed to be sure that nothing else is running because I hear something coming from my board. Okay. There you go. Kinney served in the Fulton County school system from 2008 to 2016, teaching K through 12 health and physical education along with coaching football. He then served as assistant principal and principal at Todd County Central High School before moving to the Paducah school system in 2021. Kinney will now travel to Washington, D.C. in April for the National Educational Leadership Awards, where the National High School Principal of the Year will be announced. Thunderbolt Radio has learned former UT trustee and businessman Crawford Gallimore has passed away at the age of 76 at his home Monday in Murfreesboro. Mr. Gallimore was a senior advisor for finance and risk management for Hamilton Riker. He and Wayne McWright began their business together in 1971. Mr. Gallimore served as a trustee for the University of Tennessee and represented UT Martin until his term expired in 2020. Mr. Gallimore almost had an accent come out there. Hold on. Mr. Gallimore formerly held the position of chairman of the Tennessee Chamber of Commerce and also served as a former Weakley County Chamber president. Funeral arrangements have not been announced at this time. I think I'm going to take that last part out. Yeah. Next. The Tennessee legislature is back in session, and both sides of the aisle have focused on the cost of living. Tennessee is one of 10 states that collect a tax on groceries. Consumers pay 4% in state tax, and local governments can add up to 2.75% on top of that if they choose to. Last year, the state legislature considered several proposals, including cutting the grocery tax, but it did not make it to the governor's desk. House Bill 0021, which would have eliminated tax on food and food ingredients completely during... Run it back. There it is. House Bill 0021, which would have eliminated tax on food and food ingredients completely during the last session, but the bill failed. However, it's eligible to move forward this year. This is worded terribly, so I'm going to fix it. House Bill 0021 would have eliminated taxes on food and food ingredients completely during the last session, but it failed. However, it's still eligible to move forward this year. In We Care's newly released 2025 annual report, the ministry reinvested over $880,000 directly into Weakley County. Throughout 2025, We Care Ministries served over 2,500 households, including almost 1,500 in Martin, over 500 in Dresden, about 300 in Sharon, over 200 in Greenfield, and over 200 in Gleason. Through the Christmas toy store, they served over 500 children. During the Empty Bowls Pottery fundraiser, they raised over $5,000, and through their efforts in the school supply drive, over 400 children were served. Two area river ports have been announced to receive funding by the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Over $2.3 million in awards was announced for 8 projects, which included locations in Hickman and Paducah. The Paducah-McCracken County Riverport Authority was awarded $730,000 for projects that include a scale house replacement and fertilizer conveyor system replacement. The Hickman it's just so funny when my mind, like, if I go left a little bit, it's hard for me to read. Like, if I'm thinking about anything else, it's hard to read. The Hickman-Fulton County Riverport was presented almost $354,000 for a barge moving system. The Kentucky Public Riverport Construction and Maintenance Program distributes funds to modernize equipment, expand capacity, and strengthen the role of regional and national freight movement. Nice. The Weakley County Courthouse was approved for a $500,000 historic courthouse repairs grant. Mayor Dale Hutcherson told Thunderbolt News that the acquisition of this grant saves taxpayers over $450,000.
And it's going towards absolute necessities. And what it does is it ultimately is going to save Weakley County taxpayers $450,000+ on absolute needs that would have had to been renovated over the course of time coming up, because it's going towards renovations that maintain a compliant courthouse, both on ADA standards, fire codes, things like that. The plan is to use a lot of the funding towards renovating our elevators, which is a necessity, as well as our fire alarm system. Not to mention we had some major damage from storms over the past several years with our windows and doors that we'll be repairing. There's a lot of work that went into it, and it's going towards things that we would have had to spend money on otherwise, and now we get to do it with a state-funded grant.
Mayor Hutcherson credits some of the people involved in the process of receiving the grant.
And a lot of credit is due to our representative Tandy Darby, who went to bat for us on the state level, but also a lot of credit goes to our department heads throughout the courthouse who offered their support in the application, and then Miss Melinda Parm, our communications director, and our grant facilitator is what I'm going to start calling her quite a bit, because she put in a lot of legwork to get that done. And I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention our Northwest Tennessee Development District that was instrumental in acquiring this grant.
The courthouse will not only receive repairs, but will also be nationally recognized in the National Register of Historical Places. Okay, I think I've got one more. Okay. Last one. U.S. Congressman John Rose is putting in his bid to become the next governor of Tennessee. Monday, he visited the Secretary of State's Division of Elections to pick up an official nominating petition form, which will be signed by voters from across Tennessee over the coming weeks. Once completed and approved, the document will cement his candidacy and secure his place on the August 6th Republican gubernatorial primary ballot. The qualifying deadline for the August Republican primary election is February 19th. All right. Okay, so that's all that for today. Now I'm going to do some cutting. You know how this goes. And, yeah. Listen, man, I just keep showing up. All I can do is keep being grateful and keep showing up. To this, to life. Okay? All I can do is continue to be grateful and keep showing up. So, with that said, I will see y'all later. I hope you have a great day. I will, by any means necessary. Bye.